So hello friends, this is lesson number 7. We are going to discuss about monitoring methods. Why monitoring is required? Because it is not necessary that whatever we are going to plan, it will really get executed the way we want. So monitoring is very important key factor, and if there is no monitoring method, we are inviting a lot of challenges for ourselves. So how to plan our monitoring methods? Let's see one by one. So when we are planning our methods, again there is a two important stages. One is the pre-actions and another is the post-action. Because any task we want to accomplish, we have to plan that journey. We have to start with the planning. We are planning something and we are acting on it. But during this process, because that action is required some good enough time, because this is a journey. So we need to have a right monitoring methods to ensure that every our action is giving a right results to us. Because it is again depending on lot of factors and circumstances. We have to analyze at the right point, basis on the monitoring, and we have to really take the right decisions based on the gaps we have identified. So here the monitoring is the most important factor. Let's see how we can really prepare that monitoring method for us. So when we are structuring our monitoring methods, of course every important stage we need to really capture and we need to monitor it. But being a management, we have to at least keep very close eye on very few important parts. One is your cost factor. Second, the scope of work, because the important factors which is really going to impact on your this all execution. Third is your scheduler, because you want to achieve everything in the right time frame which you have been agreed and decided on. And the quality of the services, quality of your products. Majorly these four important parts are more like your key parameter index. You have to ensure as a management at least these four important checks you should have on the daily basis. Because every this factor which you know that it is going to impact on your cost, your scope of work, schedule or quality, it will help you to avoid your risk. This is more like a test on everyday basis to ensure that nothing is going wrong and you are taking the right alarms to really take a right modifications, right supports, right solutions on it. So once you know those alarms are coming every day, you can take a decisions on every day to modify and correct it. This will definitely help you to motivate your team and to yourself, because if we are taking the right decisions, it is helping us to achieve our goals. It is helping us to really find the right modifications need to be done on a right time, and it is helping us to correct the right things at the right point. Because any plan is not a perfect plan. Even if you have a great plan, there is all good possibilities because of the circumstances, conditions, and because of some other reasons, something may go wrong. Better to have a right check on it. And important thing is to really keep a check and alarm on it. And important thing is more than that, either you are really taking a right decisions to modify and do the corrections. That is something we call a complete method of monitoring. It is not only about keeping an eye on it. It is more important to really take a right decisions so we can ensure there is no risk, there is no challenges to us. When you are preparing a method of your monitoring, these are the few standards which you need to keep in your mind. Let's see from the bottom that the task has been agreed on it. Maybe the task you want to really give it to the team. The first stage is to define the scope of work. Someone is going to really define it very precisely and have an agreement on it by everyone. Because unless everyone is not comfortable with it, it is not making any sense. Because task has to be given to the people, those who are really agreeable to it. So make a scope of work very defined so they can understand it more. You can push and you can really give a hard task to everyone, but at least the scope of work has to be very clear, because we as a lead of the organization or the someone who is really giving a task to someone, it's not important only to allocate. It's more than that. You are going to be a mentor to them to make them understand how to really execute and how to convert that into results. Once the scope of work is defined, the next important stage is to allocate to the right people, to the right deserving one, to the right capable one. Because if you define and if you really give it to the right people, chances of conversion is much higher. Now once it is allocated, it is not only your job is done. You have to keep a very close checks on it. You have to support and you have to track it. Because you have to ensure that even if it is the task given to someone, you have a very close eye on it, and if something is going wrong, you have that right methods to really check, track it and give a support to ensure that he is converting into results for you. Next is how you are going to measure it. Because any task been given, like we discussed earlier, it has to be clear with the objective and with the right outcome expectation. So it has to be measurable, countable. What is that measure basis on which you are going to really count and account that either it is really successful or mediocre or completely failed? And the last one important is your decision, to really see that you have reached your decision, you have reached your result. And results means you have really found your answers. You have got your countable, your right solution, or you have got your decision making solution with you. This is the whole funnel, and you have to keep the right standard at each and every point. This will help you to really make a right standards of your monitoring methods. So friends, this is our 7th POC. So we have discussed about key parameter indicators. You have to define, basis on the nature of your business, what is that key important factor which we need to really check on a regular basis. You have created a right methods to really find the right alarms, right process, or right solutions which will help you to take the right decisions and make the right modifications and make the right corrections. So you are avoiding all the challenges and you are achieving your goals without any fail. So friends, next lesson we are going to discuss about business accounts. See you in the next lesson.